Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel Curiosity Box, and this is a movie review of the Aeronauts. So there's my cinema ticket to prove I went. Now I saw this movie advertised on the telly, and I saw them go up in the sky in a balloon, and I thought it looked amazing because I wanted to see it because it looked amazing, and also because in my dream world I'm always flying up in the sky, and once I flew to the moon in my dreams, and it was amazing. So I just love the idea of this movie, and it's also very educational too. So this I bought this book after seeing the movie because I wanted something. I always think every film should have action figures. I would have loved if there were toys for this movie too. Action figures would have been cool. Or at least like paper balloons in a diorama. That would have been cool too. So I got the book, and I'm not going to say any spoilers. So this is spoiler-free review. So I love this film because of some films in my head. I visualise some films like in my head. Some films like this, but this film was like a concise, neat box in my head, and it was amazing. So the film alternates between the balloon trip, the scenes in the balloon, and the historical context of why the characters are going up in the balloon, and why they're doing what they're doing. And I thought that was really well done because it didn't drag at all. So you had a chunk of historical context, then you were back to the balloon with all the excitement. Then it was like more historical context, and then back to the balloon. So you never really got bored. And it was the balloon bit was sort of filmed like this sort of, I read this after, it's like a space disaster movie type feel, but more like, but a lot slower and more scientific. The sets were beautiful, the costumes are beautiful. The best thing ever, there was a graph that plotted the height of the balloon at so there's the height of the balloon and the time, the flight time, and it plotted it on a big graph on the cinema screen, and I loved that so much. If only I'd learnt maths at the cinema and they just put everything on a cinema screen, because like, oh, put the graph on, oh, they're going to put the graph on. And the cool thing was that the balloon flight was pretty much in real time with the length of the movie. So when you saw the graph again, you could see how long the movie had been on for. So that was quite fun too. I just loved the graph. It was like, and Felicity Jones was amazing. The scenes in the balloon, so convincing, and the peril they were in, and the daring act, the amazing bravery she had to show. Felicity Jones portrayed that so convincingly. It was so convincing, and the temperature came across so convincingly, and you could really believe they were in a balloon in the sky. It was amazingly well done, and the makeup to show how cold they were getting was amazing, because when I got home I very much appreciated central heating and snuggling up under my blanket. It's like, oh, getting warm again because it's so convincing. And I just love the preciseness because and yeah, the costumes are amazing. Now at the start you sort of the slight misdirect with Felicity Jones's character because she putting a show on like a circus girl, but then she comes into her own and she shows what a pilot and scientist type person she really is and how courageous she is, and she's amazing. And Eddie Redmayne is fabulous too. The whole cast is really cool in this, and I just loved it because it was nice and neat, and it wasn't like a sprawling thing. It was neat and concise and measured, and I loved it. And the song over the end credits was beautiful, and it really definitely portrayed the emotions of all the characters really well, and I just loved it. I really recommend it. I tried to go to it was on screen 1 at Cineworld, so I think that was probably one of their biggest screens they've got. So definitely see it on as big a screen as you can, and definitely take like a warm coat or something to snuggle under because it is really convincingly cold. It is amazing, and it's really interesting to learn about this history of balloon flights. It was like so interesting, and I also recommend this book. I'm only that far in, but it is already really interesting. So I loved it. I totally recommend you see it. Definitely go to the cinema to see it if you can, because it's worth it. Graphs. I love the graphs. So thank you to everybody who made this movie. You did an amazing job. It was amazing. I loved it. So I hope you have enjoyed this review, and thank you for watching. Yay!